Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot back again for one quick reading. Look what's just jumped out, the Star of Hope. That'll make sense as I go forward in this reading. One of my viewers has sent me a link to some breaking news on CNN, and it's regarding convicted agent Maria Butina, and of course she has come up in my readings in the last week or so. Longtime boyfriend confirms that Don Jr. met secretly with Kremlin agents for an hour during the 2015 NRA conference in Knoxville, or in Tennessee. Don Jr. therefore lied to Congress about collusion. Okay, so this is a thread on Twitter. Seth Abramson. He is an attorney professor and has written books on the Trump-Russia connections. Proof of conspiracy. So his thread is well worth having a look at. Why would that latest news actually implicate Don Jr.? Well, I go back to his testimony before Congress. Now, as you know, Burr, the head of the, I think it was the Intelligence Committee, brought Don Jr. back after Michael Cohen said his involvement in Trump Tower Moscow deal was more significant than what he was telling or what he was leading the senators to believe. Trump Jr. then came before the Congress again for a second time, and basically his testimony didn't change. Okay, that's to do with Trump Tower Moscow, not to do with a meeting or an alleged meeting between Trump Jr. and Alexander Torshin, who is a Russian banker and very close to Vladimir Putin. Now, if we go back to Don Jr.'s congressional testimony about whether or not he knew Alexander Torshin, here is what he said. Now, remembering that Maria Butina's boyfriend has just told CNN that Trump Jr. met for about over an hour with Torshin either in 2015 or 2016. That wasn't clear at the NRA the NRA events in Tennessee. So here's what Don Jr. said. Question. There's also been some press about an NRA dinner you attended. Do you know Mr. Alexander Torshin? Trump Jr. Yes, I met him at a dinner. Question. Was that at the NRA dinner in, I believe, June of 2016? Trump Jr. Yes. At that dinner, did you discuss with him any coordination between the Trump campaign and the Russian government? Trump Jr. No, but to clarify, he was not at the dinner with me. He was at a table nearby. I was at a dinner with 30 top people at the NRA, I believe, and someone who had known him asked if I would say hello, so I wasn't having dinner with him. Question, would you say you had a brief conversation with him or a long one? Trump Jr., brief, a few minutes. Question, do you remember all of the content of that conversation? Trump Jr. It was the NRA show. I believe he's a gun enthusiast. Question, and did that conversation involve any discussion of quid pro quo between the Russian government and the Trump campaign? Trump Jr. None at all. Okay, so the meeting with Alexander Torshin, it is alleged, went for over an hour. The discussion was around the dropping of sanctions, Russian sanctions. So there's some confusion about, at this point in time, because this is a breaking story, whether it was a 2015 NRA dinner or it was an event in 2016. Either way, that when he was asked if he knew Alexander Torshin, he has replied no, and that he met briefly with him. So it looks like, from if this is correct, it looks like Trump Jr. has perjured himself, unrelated to Trump Tower Moscow, but related to his meetings with Russian Russian representatives, Alexander Torshin in particular, to discuss the lifting of sanctions. Okay, right, so let's have a look. Did Don Jr. commit perjury? And if so, will he be held accountable? Will he be held accountable? Because in this world, if you commit perjury, suddenly it doesn't seem to matter much, does it? Anyway, let's have a look. Did John Jr. commit perjury? Did Don Jr. commit perjury in relation to Alexander Torshin? Did Trump Jr. commit perjury in relation to his meeting with Alexander Torshin? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so straight away we've got this moon card. Again, hiding secrets. Let's bring the laptop down. That is the signifier card, trying to keep things buried. What is that challenged by? The Queen of Swords. I'm not sure who was the questioner when he appeared before Congress, but the Queen of Swords, of course, is objectivity, discernment, and this card has come forward in my other readings. It's when the truth is laid out bare and there's no denying it. I'm using my Gilded Tarot at this for this reading. Okay, here's our Queen of Cups, and this Queen of Cups comes forward as holding secrets here. All right, that's the foundation of the reading. Already we're trying to hide things to be revealed. And how is it coming out? It's coming out via the objective truth, which is what happens when, of course, you appear before Congress. This is in the past position. This is his appearance before Congress. Did he commit perjury was the question. The Ace of Pentacles, we've got this new income sources. So there is more to this than just meets the eye. This goes to the funneling of Russian money right through the NRA. Okay. The Knight of Wands. In the immediate future, you're going to hear more about this. I think there's going to be demands for truth. They will go back to that testimony. You haven't heard the end of this story, okay? The Five of Wands currently, obstacles, obstructions, challenges. That's what's going on currently. At any other time, this would have automatically led to action. But now you're going to have to fight for that action to be taken. The environment around is the Three of Pentacles. This is this dark money. That's why there is that obstruction. That's why that's the muddying of the waters, trying to stop things from occurring. Hopes and fears, obviously, new starts, and there's a lot of passion and inspiration here. This is a plan too. So this story is just going to grow and grow because it has to do with quid pro quo. It has to do with being in someone's debt with the Six of Pentacles. The Eight of Cups, we've got loss here. Loss for whom? Obviously for Don Jr. and potentially for Trump, because it's also alleged that Trump also met with Alexander Torshin. So what is the missing link here? Okay, we've got the Nine of Cups. Of course, this is the merchant card. The missing link here is tying in the promise of action. The money coming through to get Trump elected, and of course the dropping of the Russian sanctions. That is the that is the link here that needs to be established. The Chariot, things coming forward very quickly, trying to control it. The world, Trump is heading to the G7. This is a breaking story. Did his son commit perjury? We've got a number of indications that he was certainly trying to hide this meeting, endings and beginnings, and anxiety here for him. Okay, so Trump Jr., did he commit perjury? Certainly, this tie between dropping of the sanctions and campaign money is coming through in this reading. Will he be charged, indicted for committing perjury? Of course, with that Six of Pentacles there, it's showing that giving and receiving help. Okay, so the Republicans are actually going to be trying to stop this. But it's a law is the law. There's certainly a lot of pentacle cards coming out here to do with money and money insecurity. Okay, money, campaign money. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. Really the genie saying, you know, what do you want? What do you need in your campaign? We'll get that to you. Okay, so will he be charged ultimately? Let me just shuffle again. Will Don Jr. be charged with perjury? Will Don Jr. be charged with perjury? Will Don Jr. be charged with perjury? Will Don Jr. be charged? Will Don Jr. be charged with perjury? We've always seen him ending up on the wrong side of the law here. Will he be charged with perjury? We've got the nine. Okay, I'll just let you know what was coming to mind there. The Trump Tower meeting. I'm not sure of the date of that, but where was this meeting in relation to that timeline? So the first card out is the Nine of Cups, the wish fulfillment. I think this is an indication of money flowing into the Trump campaign in return. This is the quid pro quo. Challenged by the Page of Pentacles. This is really a reward for effort. So it's the money trail that they need to establish. Going back, it's all about that. I'm not sure where those congressional investigations are at, but it's like pulling all this together in an undeniable package here for voters to have a look at. The foundation of the reading is the past, and also there are children in this card. The past, that is the foundation of the reading. Will he be charged with perjury? We've certainly got the world stage here in the past. That's where he was playing on the world stage. We've certainly got worries and anxieties that he will be charged with perjury. Five of Swords. In the immediate future, we do have an abuse of power, unfortunately. What is the DOJ? What is William Barr going to be doing? Who's going to be obstructing the path of justice? However, right now we've got loss here with this Three of Swords and disappointment in the atmosphere or in the environment around. Hopes and fears, endings. Okay, this is interesting. Hopes and fears, endings. And we've got Six of Wands, the victory card. I asked, would he be charged with perjury? I do feel in the end he will be with this Six of Wands. The Eight of Swords is restriction, possible imprisonment. And we've got the Three of Cups, support, circles of support here. This is the three Trump children. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Wands, which came up in the last card pull. I feel this is a growing story here. We've got crossroads and decisions being need to made. However, we've got the Seven of Swords, which is a theft and betrayal. I'm just going to. All right, so it looks like he will be charged. Now, I do feel this is part of the fabric of getting the full story that we know exists and that should have really been outlined in the Mueller report, because I don't think this was in the Mueller report. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, viewers, but Trump Jr. meeting with Alexander Torshin, I don't think was in the Mueller report. So this is a breaking news story. Why wasn't it in the Mueller report? The FBI encouraged Maria Butina's boyfriend to stay connected with her because they knew James Comey and Peter Strauss, I mispronounced that, but the FBI agent in charge of the Russia investigation, knew about this meeting because they encouraged Maria Butina's boyfriend there to keep seeing her in order to get information from her. Okay, all right, so Don Jr., has there been a cover-up here that's only now just starting to come out? Has there been a cover-up? Has there been a cover-up in relation to Don Jr.'s meeting with Alexander Torshin? Has there been a cover-up? Alexander Torshin's meeting with Don Jr., has there been a cover-up? Okay, we've got the Emperor coming in here, the autocrat. What has been said? What was said? What deals were done behind closed doors? New information and the money trail is coming out here. I suspect there are those that knew about this meeting and have kept it, I guess, back from. Well, let's keep reading. We've got the Six of Cups again, the past. We've got heartbreak, loss, disappointment connected with Donald Trump. We've also got the anxiety and the worry. We do have illumination coming up in the near future, which is going to make it hard for this to be kept under wraps. And we've got someone being disappointed here. Okay, the Seven of Swords, the fear is that there's been betrayal. And we've got the Nine of Cups, the wish card, which is a yes. And we've got an abuse of power. What's going on here? And the Page of Pentacles, money news. What's at the base? We've got the family card, or the American voters. We've got the manipulation of the Republicans. And we've got loss and somebody walking away. Okay, I don't know why the FBI would have known about this meeting. It occurred either in 2015 or 16. Trump Jr. meeting for an hour there. The FBI had asked Maria Butina's boyfriend to keep seeing her in order to track this, gather this evidence, intelligence regarding the Trump campaign's dealings with Russia. Was that in the Mueller report, Don Jr.'s meeting with Alexander Torshin? If the FBI knew that, why wasn't it in the Mueller report? Or is it in the Mueller report? Either way, it looks like, perhaps, potentially, he's committed perjury, not in relation to the Trump Tower, but in relation to his meeting with Alexander Torshin. Why did he meet? It was in response to Trump Sr.'s position on Russia sanctions. What was his position? Was he going to keep them, or was he going to get rid of them? His campaign position was that he was going to get rid of them. Didn't quite work out that way for him, did it? Because Congress had something else to say on that. Now, the Trump Tower Moscow meeting. Trump Tower Moscow meeting. When was that? Just bear with me. It took place on the 9th of June 2016. So possibly Trump Jr. had met with the Russians before then. Possibly, depending. It's unclear from the CNN coverage whether Trump Jr. met him in 2015 at the NRA dinner or in 2016. Why, if that's the case, why did the Mueller report not make more of this relationship? This wasn't somebody that was just bumbling into a meeting with the Russians. This was somebody that could have met many times with the Russians, or at least twice. The Trump Tower that we know of, the Trump Tower meeting, and of course a meeting that went on for over an hour with Alexander Torshin. Okay, I'll leave that there. These are just my intuitive impressions. I wanted to jump on, my viewer had sent that. I wanted to jump on and read on that quickly. I'll be now away for the weekend, but I'll leave it to you to really follow this breaking story, because either way, whether it was 2015 or 2016, by the time Trump Jr. got to Congress to testify on the Alexander Torshin meeting, there appears to be perjury there. All right, alleged perjury. All right, I'll leave it there, and as I said, these are just my tarot impressions, and they may or may not be correct. Thank you.